I just want to say before I begin that this horoscope, this in-depth lunar horoscope, is delayed. And the reason why is because of the fact that I was feeling in a funk the past couple of days. And I want to talk about why. So, I'm aware that Mercury, planet of communication and thinking, is retrograde right now, and there's something to it, and I don't want to go into the explanation. I'm going to humbly give it over to somebody else who can explain it way better than I can, and you can see the video down below. I really want you to go see this video. If you are caught up with, I wrote a message out on my YouTube channel, just the other day about don't let, Mercury retrograde get the better of you taking action, you initiating new things and going after what you desire, what you want, what you need. And I really meant what I said, and I was emotional. There was emotion in that writing, and I wanted people to see that message, because I will say, to be totally honest and vulnerable, I was feeling in a funk the past couple of days because of this, because of the things that I have heard about it online and the videos that I have saw on Mercury retrograde, and I was feeling mad and I was feeling irritated with the astrologers, that I watch and things like that, but I was also feeling scared, like, oh my gosh, I am considering getting a new phone. And I have a computer that is going to be shipped here in a couple of days. And so I was so worried about, Mercury retrograde makes for delays. Don't buy new pieces of technological equipment during this time because it's going to break down. It's not going to be as, well done, and it's going to be this and that. You're going to, regret it later. Don't take this chance. It's not available right now, for you to do. I'm not in a hospital room with no power at all, and I'm, certainly, alive on this planet, living my life, and I can make my own decisions and choices for how I want to live my life and the things that I do and don't do. And this is, really getting to the summit of 2022 in my mind, because there's so many things going on in my life right now, and with all the things I have heard about it, it just seems like the worst time for Mercury to go retrograde, and the whole thing about don't start new things and don't buy this, don't buy that. Well, don't forget that Jupiter is in Aries, and it's a wonderful opportunity to start new things and to put things into action. And with Mercury retrograde, looking at, really diving deep into the, this is the, the words I'm sort of gathering, the unconscious, and to be able to go through the sort of process that Mercury retrograde offers. It does not mean that you can't do this, you can't do that, because, first of all, it is not empowering. That is disempowering and dictatorial. If Mercury makes things happen, and that makes this happen, makes that happen. I don't, like, planets and things don't make things happen and don't cause delays and don't, make everything go haywire and this and that. Maybe it is more, more heightened awareness and heightened sensitivity toward those things. And I happen to know of, two people in my life, who were married during Mercury retrograde. I believe I saw the R next to Mercury, with the, date that they were married. So, this whole topic of, don't sign new contracts or don't start new, relationship deals and don't start new projects, utter just really to healthfully detach from that and to know that that is a narrative that has been created. But I have found a voice of reason, and I am grateful that I have thought to see that video, and it was so uplifting. It clarified, it dispelled, busted the myths, and just made me feel so much better. And, it is a transit that's, going on in the sky, but in correlation to the transit and what it's about and where my life is right now and the things happening, that, got me down. And I was feeling very, I was just consumed with negative thoughts and feelings Wednesday night with Mercury retrograde and then all these things happening, a computer coming. I went, at this point in my life. And the next day, hearing that video, I was really, very, very pleasantly surprised. And it, really got me out of, how I was feeling. Again, I was saying, and, so many things, it was very down to earth. It was, it really, really got to the core of what it was, and, it was practical, very, very practical, very earthy, and all those things going on. All the planets and new transits and all that, they are potential, those sort of, invitations and, create this and that, but, we ultimately, what do we do with it? How do we act upon it, etc. Where, it was like being in a desert and all of a sudden finding the forest with the, the fruits and the, the water available, the food available, the birds singing, that was kind of, how it felt, and that's what the video is, as a sort of island that more people need to join on and live on. And so I really recommend seeing that. If you don't see any other thing during, about Mercury retrograde, I'm sure that there's other things too. I'm sure there's a lot of other things like this. But that's what I have found. And that is what really turned around the narrative and turned my feelings around about it. And really just this feeling of relief, peace, comfort, like it's not all gloom and doom. Yeah. So, I just wanted to say that before I begin. But we're on the, precipice right before the full moon coming up. And the full moon is going to be in Scorpio, and it's going to be powerful. Time to release things, and time to dive deep into things, diving deep into tasks to find out what is really going on, and, ending what doesn't work. And I mean, together with this Mercury Retrograde, really, really works out. And with Mercury Retrograde, and then, bear in mind that the same day that it went retrograde, Jupiter stepped into Aries, and those send mixed messages, or at least from what I have seen prior to watching the video that I watched, because I have also read things on Mercury Retrograde sites online that said, oh, don't buy big purchase items, don't sign contracts, all those types of things like that. And so take action. It's just, it's one of the, they say too good to be true. I say too bad to be true. I could be dreaming and wake up and everything would be fine. So, indeed, finding the rainbow at the end of the storm, in a way. So, with that said, we're a couple of days. So the Sun in Taurus, Moon in Libra. So both of these are ruled by Venus. And Venus is the planet of love and beauty, of what we surround ourselves with. And, it really, rules the signs Taurus and Libra. And so Taurus gives the real value of, stability and sensuality into lovemaking. But then, Libra, how we're going to cooperate and, work with others and establish that harmony. So together they really work out very, very well as signs and as, the sun and moon. Taurus is, all the material things, all the material comforts that, we love, like food and our covers and our pillows and all those types of things. The things that came from Mother Nature. And then Libra is, it's an air sign, so rules ideas and thoughts, and there's also an an artistry to Libra as well with that influence. And so combining these, it really, creates that kind of flavor of these things happening, of the sun and moon in these two signs. And the moon's going to move into Scorpio, where it is going to be intense and powerful. And, Scorpio brings up things from the depths of the things that were just, pressing down. Those things are probably really going to come up where releasing needs to occur. Transformation, evolution, that whole cycle of starting at the beginning of this track and then ending more, wiser on the other side. And, this is a huge part of this, these, days when Mercury is retrograde. So, it sort of supports it in that way. And Taurus holds on to the material things. Scorpio can let go. And Scorpio is, so, can be manipulative and psychologically, so psychologically attuned to others' situations and, the need to control others. That what about our values? Because Scorpio also rules power. Pluto, the symbol, the glyph, would be a P, and it could stand for power. And with what was going on at the time that Pluto was discovered, was these rulers and leaders in such power that they were taking over, that they were domineering, and they were abusing the power. And where does the self-advocacy need to come into play? Where does the claiming of your power need to come into play? Where, what is the right use of help? To where somebody is supporting you, but not taking over, or not, dimming your light of what you can accomplish in your capability, and draining that, and sort of acts as, one of those machines that just squeezes things down. And so that's, so those are areas to look for, and this is, again, where, the two sides, the two puzzle pieces of the North Node and South Node are going to come together. They're going to meet. And, the South Node sign in Scorpio is going to get some attention during this time. So, thank you for tuning in.